Minasan, konbanwa. Welcome back to 4-digit Mania World Cup 2024. We have yet another losers conditional quarterfinals match that is waiting for us right here. It is going to be Indonesia taking on Japan, and whoever wins this match will be moving on to the losers semifinals. We're waiting for them will be Team Canada. Streaming this match will be eFan922. Refereeing this match is going to be, I believe, Poi. And hello everybody, I am Porcus Great. I will be your commentator for today, and your solo commentator again. There was supposed to be Krylin or Gumi Fumo that was supposed to commentate, but unfortunately, he is not here. So therefore, just like with what happened with me on Hong Kong taking on Netherlands, I will be the only voice you'll be hearing for the next hour or two. Alrighty. So here we have is Indonesia taking on Japan. Two teams that I did my research on based on performances that both teams have played against their retrospective opponents. And we're gonna get started with this map. I wonder whose warm-up this is actually. Is it Japan's warm-up or is it Indonesia's warm-up? I don't think they actually anyone have actually mentioned it. So if I could get, okay, Poity mentioned this is Indonesia's warm-up. Okay, so Indonesia, this is a team that I've commentated on them last week when they lost against China in a 4DM rematch from last year, and coincidentally in round of 16. Indonesia is looking to be a bit more stronger this year, and in their match against Mexico earlier this weekend, or yesterday, they have won against Mexico by a score of 6-2. Some really good performances from Indonesia in particular. Definitely going to keep an eye out on Wish Tonight, Nayu. Rakanovan has been a player that, did really well for Indonesia last time. Rayhin is going to be another key player to watch out, as well as SX. I don't even know how. Isega. I don't even know how you're supposed to pronounce that name. But yeah, Indonesia definitely has like the depth to be able to, go pretty far, but standing in their way is going to be Japan. Alrighty. 4桁マニアワールドカップへようこそ。日本はインドネシアと対戦する。先週、日本はベトナムに敗れ、敗者復活戦に回った。昨日、日本はアイルランドに勝った。日本が勝てばカナダとの対戦に進む。日本が負ければトーナメント敗退となる。
こんばんは。日本のストリームですか?
Oh my gosh, you're actually here?
Hello. Sorry, I'm just a bit late. Had a lot of things to take care of, but yeah, things are okay. Things are okay for now.
Oh, good, because I remember you mentioned something about like, I don't think I can actually come in for this match. I was like, oh, okay. I don't actually mind solo casting myself again, but now that you're here, it makes me feel it just makes this voice call feel a lot more livelier now.
I feel like I've been commentating almost every Japanese match except for round of 32. I really love Japan.
日本が好きです。
本当に。
Alrighty.
Okay, my Japanese isn't at a conversational level at all, so I think for the sake of Twitch, we'll also uh, revert to the very widely understood English.
Yeah, but yeah. Speaking of which, you know, I was just talking about like Indonesia with what happened to them last week, especially since I did commentate on their match against China in the winners round of 16, where they looked really strong. And considering from what I've seen from them, I have a feeling that match they had could go on to tiebreaker, but they just had some unfortunate drops that really costed them to pull off like a revenge win against China, considering it was a rematch from last year. As the warm-ups will be finished, it's going to be finished. It's going to be done for Indonesia's warm-up, but now we will get into Japan's warm-up now. And with Japan, a very unusual situation last week when they lost by a sweep against Vietnam.
Well, yeah, to be honest, Vietnam did have a really stacked tournament. A really stacked roster. So, yeah, Japan did give it their best, but unfortunately, at the time, there were a few occasions where it was definitely really close. But unfortunately, Vietnam just managed to eke out the win on every single map.
Yeah, I think with that though, they did look really strong against Ireland. No wait, no. Yeah, no, it was Ireland. Okay, yeah, it was against Ireland yesterday. Yeah, in quarterfinals. And I do think with especially with what I've seen from both teams based on statistics, I think it's just going to be interesting to see how well Indonesia will play the rice maps, considering last week they did play a lot of the rice maps against China. They did look pretty strong in their performances, and I think it's going to be interesting considering Japan has played almost all of the rice maps with the exception of rice 1. And it's just going to be interesting. And considering with like each team have done really well on the SV maps, there is going to be that feeling that maybe both teams may not want to ban SVs, and they might actually play both SVs. And it's just going to be interesting considering Japan has played SV1, whereas Indonesia played SV2, and both teams scored a 2.9 million score as a team. So it's just going to be interesting to see how well these teams perform in competition on the SV maps. But there are two maps that I will say I will have to keep an eye on for the viewers, especially for the players. One particularly with Hybrid 2, and the other with LN4, in which I will go more into detail if those maps are picked, or if they're getting banned, of course.
Yeah, the thing about Japan is that they're widely known in this tournament to be extremely scary on the SBs. No matter how good Indonesia is, I still think that I'm not like putting them down or anything, but I think that they themselves might think that Japan is a little bit of too hard of an opponent to try and get a point on SVs with, because like X-Real is just like a monster at even getting good ratio on the SV maps as well. Like there's a lot. I think all the SV maps that he played, he's gotten like a sub 100 regular 300 count like on all of them.
Yeah,
His scores are always in the 995Ks, and that alone will strike fear in any opponent's heart.
that's right. I mean, it's just going to be quite interesting to see how it's just going to be interesting though, because I mean, considering with what SV1 or SV2 looks like for Indonesia, I mean, considering how last week have went for Japan, considering they actually lost SV2 against Vietnam, I mean, this just means like, you know, anything can happen, especially in a tournament like 4DM. So, you know, maybe I wouldn't even count out Indonesia at all.
Yeah, actually, I actually completely forgot that Japan did play SV2s and also lost to Vietnam. But Vietnam had like a really solid team score. Japan had like one or two unfortunate breaks. So yeah, maybe the third player syndrome might come into play a little bit here in this SV matchup if you know, we do see it happen.
Yeah, and I mean, both from what I've heard, you know, I think consistency is going to be the key component into this matchup. I mean, you know, it's like I mentioned with Indonesia, they have some consistency issues that really costed them, like, to be able to take an upset victory against China. And you know, from what I hear from you with Japan, I have a feeling it might go the same way. So I think this might be, you know, a pretty evenly matchup for what we are going to see here.
Yeah, there's not really a clear-cut winner right out the gate. We're definitely going to see a little bit of back and forth happening on points scored here. So yeah, it could also be tiebreaker territory. Really not too sure about it until we get like maybe halfway into the match, or whoever scores the first 3 points.
We shall see, as the warm-ups will be over. And now with that out of the way, the art referee will be able to tell the team captains to start rolling already. So we shall see who will win the rolls and how this is going to affect bans and protects. So Rayhin will roll a 53. We're just waiting on X-Real rolling a 41. It's going to be Indonesia taking the rolls. So this will mean they will have the first protect and first pick.
Alright, let's see what the protect will be. I really don't think that they should protect SB, but really it's all up to them. If they feel that they have adequate practice on both of these, like sure, they could probably leave it open. But I think there are other better maps to protect, something that is out of Japan's comfort zone, somewhere in the LN.
Yeah, I think considering that if what we're seeing from these scores were true, and considering from what I've seen in the IRC chat, I think both of them are actually going to leave out SBs right open. So they are going to protect somewhere in the Rise Hybrid or LNs, in which they will protect Hybrid 1. That's going to be an interesting pick. The Hybrid that has surprisingly SBs in it.
Yeah, haven't seen a lot of that being played, if anything. Has Hybrid 1 actually been played yet? I don't.
Yeah, Indonesia actually played it against Mexico. They scored 2,944,000 points. And meanwhile for Japan, already they skipped. Oh shoot, wait.
Oh wait,
what did Japan protect? If we can scroll up, because I was just going over with Flick statistics, and now all of a sudden they just really went by really fast. Wait a minute. Oh man, maybe right. That chat will help.
Or when in doubt, ref sheet.
Oh yeah, ref sheet. Oh yeah, ref sheet. I forgot ref sheet literally exists.
Yeah, well, both the players from both teams who are practicing their roles. Oh, actually, we're getting a ban from Indonesia being SB2. Okay.
Oh, interesting.
So, yeah, one of the SBs, Mania, probably scared Indonesia a lot more.
Okay, got it. So,
sorry, go ahead.
So Japan will protect SB1. And Japan will ban Hybrid 3. Hybrid 3 is a map that neither team has played. And Indonesia will ban SV2. That's actually interesting considering they're banning an SV map that they have actually played before. I don't know what or why, but okay then.
Yeah, interesting note about Hybrid 1 with Indonesia protected. Japan in their match against Ireland, I think they banned Hybrid 1. I think there was a Hybrid 1 ban if I remember.
Hybrid 1. Let me look. No. There was no. Ireland banned. That was their second ban for Ireland.
Oh right, it was Ireland. Okay, yeah, but Japan did ban Hybrid 3 if I'm not mistaken. Then.
Yeah, they did ban Hybrid 3.
Right. Okay.
So
yeah.
We are gonna go into Rice 3, one of none. So interesting about this pick that Indonesia made is that they haven't played this map in competition, but Japan did play it and they scored 2,961 points. If you recall, Hashimoto 1129 with a 991k performance with almost a V1 SS with only 1,200. I think that's going to be a key player to watch out for if he can try and replicate that performance. Axrio did find a break in the halfway mark, so I think it's going to be interesting to see if he can be able to fix his mistakes because I do think Japan needs to rely on him, but if Japan wants to be able to get a full team combo to extend their score, that'll be good enough to take down Indonesia. But the question for Indonesia is what roster they're going to go with. Wish Tonight is going to come in.
Who are they going to bring on as their third? Yeah, as you said, there is Wish Tonight right there, and Nayu, and now
Rakanovan. Rakanovan is going to come in. Yeah, I was expecting it was going to be Rakanovan, considering he really did well on the Rice maps last week against China. And he was like, he will be another key player to watch out for Indonesia. And I do think if Indonesia was able to pop off, I do think Rakanovan is going to be a player alongside with Wish Tonight and Nayu to be able to take down this Japanese team. So it's just going to be interesting how this will go.
Right, countdown starting right about now, and yeah, we will be heading right into it. Rakanovan, Nayu, and Wish Tonight for Indonesia will be taking on Axrio, Hashimoto, and Rusk from Japan. Map 1 is underway. We'll see how it plays out.
Yep. Alrighty.
Of course, we can't forget the inverse at the start.
Indonesia finding a bit of a slight better start with this small island section, so they're going to hold with a 2,000 point lead so far, and not a good ideal start for Japan. I mean, but it is just the beginning though, so they can definitely improve on their accuracies as the map progresses. But so far, I mean, it's just interesting act battles here and there. It's just Wish Tonight having the highest accuracy in the lobby, but Axrio is actually finding a much better act.
It is actually Axrio who has the highest one, but Wish Tonight is actually going to be creeping up on that lead. But never mind, it just stays at the high 99.7, while Axrio is going to be maintaining, and it actually also rises a little bit. Russ has brought his accuracy back up, but never mind, it goes back down. It was at 99.7, now back to 99.6. And Hashimoto being the tail end for Japan. And
oh no! And we're gonna get into the Ki right here. This is not the ideal performance we would want to see from Hashimoto. He's just been struggling after doing really well on this map the first time. He just hasn't been able to replicate that same success, which is what Indonesia will use to their advantage, as they will be able to take down Japan, as there's just not much map left.
Yeah, there's barely any map. One of the shortest ones in the pool. And with that, we see a V1 double S from Nayu, but also best ratio in the lobby from Axrio, although he has that 1-200, that 150 regular 300 count is just like 30 better than Nayu. So MVP does go to Axrio for this map.
Yeah, that is... Like, you just gotta feel bad for Hashimoto because the entire team for Japan have actually improved their scores. It's just that Hashimoto just wasn't able to perform up to expectations, and when they really needed him for this start, he just wasn't able to capitalize on it. And yeah, that's not the start that Japan would ideally want, but they are now up, but it's just not looking quite good at the start when Japan is just when Japan on the surface just has like a really good score, and they were on pace to be able to basically not only beat their own score, but also potentially on par to keep up with Indonesia as well. This was like a missed opportunity to really give Japan an opportunity to start off with a 1-0 lead for themselves.
But yeah, this was the pick from Indonesia, so it's kind of like a no-brainer that Indonesia is probably a little bit more confident on this. Yeah, Japan might have gotten a good score, but Indonesia probably felt that, I think we have what it takes. We can probably do better than Japan, and yeah, just go for it. So yeah, now it is Japan who has the power of choice, and they're gonna continue on with the Rice category and heading on to Rise 5 Min Tango.
Oh, this is a really good choice for Japan, and I do think they have definitely done their homework on Indonesia. But I do think this is another one of those maps where I do think Indonesia can definitely improve. Both teams have actually played this map on Min Tango. So Japan has a 18,000 point advantage over Indonesia. If we look into the scores, I mean, it is Wish Tonight who has the highest score out of the 6 players that played it the first time with 994k, which is what they really need. But breaks from Rakanaban and Isega from their match against Mexico, they did find some really unfortunate breaks that gave them a score of like a 972,000 duo point score. Meanwhile, for Japan, some also breaks from Russ BT and Hashimoto, but Axrio with a 990k performance though. I think now that I'm looking at these scores in close now, I actually don't know if I actually like this pick. I think, considering with what I mentioned with Indonesia looking really strong on Rice, and especially with what we're seeing from them in Rice 3, I think this is an opportunity for Indonesia to really strike with a break point of their own for this one. Well, we shall see how it goes as the map will begin.
Yeah, as you said, scores on paper do seem to favor Japan, but for all we know, the Indonesian match, like, it could have just been some hardware issue, some lag spikes happening that caused a drop. Yeah, for all we know, Indonesia might actually pull off like a 990k. As with the intro here, if we do see that is the case, Wish Tonight with a 99.9, and followed by Suga and Rakanovan, both pretty much equal at 99.82. Over on Japanese side though, Hashimoto is once again a little bit on the tail end of the accuracy battle right here. We have Axrio and Russ complementing each other with 0.84s, but Hashimoto is the only one in the entire lobby. Or never mind, Suga has also found himself back into the 0.7%, so that slight advantage is going to go over to Japan, but it's definitely not by much.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the accuracies right now, we're seeing Wish Tonight is starting where he left off. Same can be said for Axrio, but it's really just about the duels. But it's just really interesting seeing that, a lot of players are slowly dropping their accuracies right now, and it's just going to slightly favor Japan so far right now. I mean, Hashimoto and Rusk BT holding a accuracy duel of 99.80, and Wish Tonight and Axrio. And a drop from Axrio now this time.
Ooh, that is not good. And actually, looking at combos from the previous matches, Suga and Rakanovan, who both played, they already missed like earlier in the map, but right now they're holding onto the full combos. So right now, I would say that they're already doing better than their previous match.
Yeah, they're doing so much better, but the question is can they hold on to it? Suga has been, Sega, whatever you call it. I mean, he is a really talented player, but one thing I've also noticed from last week was that he has struggled with consistency issues, so I wouldn't count out Japan just yet, as we are just about a quarter of the map left to go. And there's still a good chunk of score waiting to happen. I think this is also a time for Japan to be able to catch up, but they might have to rely on Indonesia to be able to find a player to break, which I don't think it might happen anytime soon.
Yeah, the map is going to close out really soon. Accuracy alone is not going to win them. Japan is going to need Indonesia to find a break, and it has to be soon. Although the score has been dwindling a slight bit more, just 3,500 points. I saw it dip down into 2,000s a little bit. But if the pattern just keeps going on like this without anybody going to be finding significant act drops, it's just going to go in favor of Indonesia towards the end here. Will that be the case? Will it be point number 2 for Indonesia?
Oh,
and they close things out.
What a performance from Quarterfinals and Sega, as they have definitely got their woes from that performance. And man, you just gotta have to feel for Japan. They just were better ratio, but that break from Axrio really costed them to take their own point. Not the start that Japan wants to be in right now. And for Indonesia, they have got to feel relieved that break really, if Axrio could have full comboed like he did the first time, this could have been a 1-1 game right now. But that did not happen.
If not a 1-1 game, it would have still been really close. Like, I imagine the score difference would be in the 3 digits. But yeah, unfortunately, miss from Axrio does give Indonesia a pretty comfortable lead into 2-0, and now power choice is back to Indonesia. Will we be seeing more rise from them? Or, I don't know, maybe they might want to start looking into the LN category over here. Maybe try and catch Japan off a little bit. Try and not give them... just like prevent any sort of comeback. Not picking anything that Japan might be a little bit more comfortable with.
You're right. I do think this is a chance for Indonesia to really start looking into the LN side. Though the map that Japan did play LN2 with a score of 2,935 points, but they're gonna go with LN3. This is a map that
actually,
Japan
not LN3, actually LN4.
LN4. Oh, okay. Interesting choice from Indonesia. Both teams have actually played LN4, Vided. So, despite the fact that Japan, I believe, lost that pick against Ireland, they actually have the better score against Indonesia the first time these two teams played it. Japan scored 2,942,000 points, whereas Indonesia was 4,000 points short, 2,938,000 points. We look into the players that have played it. It was Yoshiap with a 991k, the highest out of these 6 players. The highest score in the lobby for Indonesia the first time they played it was Nayu. And definitely we'll keep an eye out on Axrio for this one as well. He did struggle with this map, scoring the lowest in the he scored the second lowest. Actually, even though he did find a break, he did. Wrong. No, he does have the lowest score in the lobby with 968k. So I do think pressure's on him to try and be able to improve Japan's score greatly.
Well, after all, this is another map. things that on paper might not be as it seems, or it could also very well be as it seems. So X-Real, Hashimoto, and Yoshab, that is pretty much the same lineup, I believe.
Yeah, both teams going with the same lineups.
All right. So let's see if we can. Let's see if their scores are going to be matching with their previous, with their own previous matches.
Yeah, we will see how it goes so far.
Starting right out the gate, Hashimoto has picked up, I believe, a 200 or something, sends him down to 99.5. So early lead for Indonesia while we see how they contest with these LNs over here. Oh, actually, are also finding quite a big drop in their accuracy as well. Over Indonesia, yeah, LN seems to be one of their comfort zones. Axrio is going to be finding a break, not what Japan needs at this moment. Also, not a really long map, under 2 minutes, so breaks is going to matter a whole lot more.
Oh man, this is not looking really good for Nippon right now. This has been a nightmarish start, and Nayu will find a drop back. Indonesia's top scorer in this map last time will find a drop, but X-Real's accuracy is something that needs to be considered. Oh, Wish Tonight!
I was just about to say that. Yeah, not with Nayu's drop, they still have both Suga and Wishy Knight who are able to back up the accuracy and combo as well. But now with the miss from Wishy Knight, yeah, Japan actually does have a chance to pull it back, but Wishy Knight brings his combo back up to 400, and there is not enough map left if no one misses.
Oh my gosh, Indonesia just narrowly able to hold on. That I have no idea.
Yeah, apparently that wasn't even like just a single shot. It was a whole 3 notes that Wishing Knight somehow just missed. And yeah, luckily for Indonesia, it wasn't at a point where the score would have been over on Japan's side. But yeah, so Indonesia does still make up their 3rd point, continuing their flawless run of Indonesia versus Japan. And with Indonesia finally reaching their 3rd point, Japan now has the option for their 2nd ban.
Yeah. Just not enough for Japan to be able to catch up to Indonesia. Indonesia looked a lot stronger with this map. If it wasn't for those 2 breaks from Nayu and Wish Tonight, they probably would have decimated Japan.
Yeah, it kept it close, but it was not close enough for Japan to be able to stage a comeback.
And now if you're Japan, the question is, what do they want to ban now? I mean, I can look into my notes. They have not. I mean, I could see them going with Rice 2 ban, considering they did. If we're comparing scores with both teams playing Chili Sauce the first time, Japan lost against Indonesia, or they have an 11,000 point deficit. So this is maybe something that maybe Japan would like to consider, or maybe they would like to probably want to ban the LNs, probably, maybe.
Yeah, personally, I was thinking more towards LN, like maybe LN1 or maybe even like Hybrid 4. Hybrid 4 is also like really. Oh, well, there it is. Hybrid 4 is indeed banned. Yeah, because Hybrid 4 does have like a really, really huge amount of long nodes, and the rice portions are like super intrusive. Just like choke bait. So yeah, I think Japan, they did make a pretty good ban.
Yeah, I mean, pretty good ban for Japan, but considering neither team has played it. But now the question is, do they want to go with SB1 to try to get themselves back on the board, or do they want to like try to risk it and play something else? to be able to try to find themselves get back into the same boat with Indonesia?
Well, so far, Japan has always saved their. Oh well, I was just about to say that they've saved their protects for like the later half of the match, like when it's more towards the end, like maybe point 4 or 5, and then they just go with the SB. But apparently, that is not gonna be the case for this match. 3-0, and Japan has gone with their Protect SB1, and we start to see the SB specialists flow right in for Indonesia and Japan. With Fast for Japan and Rayhit coming in for Indonesia.
Yeah, we're seeing the desperation starting to kick in from Japan, with SV1. I mean, no, I mean this is probably the best case scenario that they may want to have to try to rebuild their confidence back up. But man, I would feel somewhat surprised if Indonesia somehow in some way will be able to take down Japan to get their second break point. And if that does happen, then man, my oh my, will we see like am I going to feel so concerned for Japan after this fourth map, assuming if the worst case scenario happens to them.
Yeah, we have seen it happen already. Like, I believe in Philippines versus US, like a lot of people were expecting Cup to like basically decimate the SVs, but a rope miss that took out his combo before he could ever reach 400. It sent his score way down. So if the same thing happens in Japan and Indonesia keeps their combo, I can definitely see it going Indonesia's way. They just all have to maintain their combos, because like missing once is not an option.
That is right. As we get down to the map, Japan scores 2,929,000 points. As we look into SV1, you had Xrio, all of the players from Japan holding full combos. So I do think, this is going to be interesting to see how well these teams will do. But yet somehow, someway, Indonesia is having a much better start than Japan. What is going on? Oh my gosh!
Fast and Hashimoto find their accuracy pretty down in the dumps at the start. Yeah, but it is still at the start. They are also holding their combos. It is still definitely, you can still definitely come back from that. Just get better accuracy and try not to find misses. But speaking of accuracy, Indonesia seems to be just having a ball day with SB1.
Yeah, that is really surprising to be able to see Indonesia having a much better start coming from this, and we're seeing some more act drops coming from Japan.
Hashimoto is not having a good day. He's fallen below that 97%. He's at that 97% right now.
He did mention after the first map it was just pressure dealing with him.
A little bit of nerves catching up to him.
And it seems to be the case again, as nerves is really hitting him really hard. It's just going to have to take a break from Indonesia, which it will happen from Nayu.
Nayu with the break. There's one, and then it swings immediately over to Japan. There is like less than 100 combo remaining. Actually, I don't think that unless Japan miss, I don't think that Indonesia will be able to come back from that.
Oh my gosh, I think they got really lucky. Oh my gosh, don't do this, Japan.
Just a little bit more.
This long
notes. Hold on.
Oh no! What is going on?
Accuracy,
no!
Accuracy?
Oh no! Oh my!
And it goes back to Indonesia.
What did we just saw? Indonesia.
Ooh.
What happened?
As it turns out, hundreds and fifties will also seriously impact score, as you can see from. Oof. Huge oof moment.
Carlin, I'm just really shell shocked right now. I have no idea what the hell we just witnessed. Like, okay, we were talking about, and this was going, like, even from the start, Indonesia found themselves with a really good start. And then that Nayu break, that really changed the tides. And then the ending.
Yeah, the
What the?
ending, everything was decided with like less than 40 notes to go.
I'm I don't know what to say. Like,
But Japan, or more specifically Axrio, has like heaved a sigh of defeat as it says like it is so over. Indonesia has taken a break point off of Japan's protect, and that has to feel absolutely, absolutely terrible.
oh my gosh, was that was crazy.
Like it has to feel terrible, but Axrio seems to be taking it in strides. Like her funniest moment.
I mean, yeah, they can only laugh it off, but I I don't know what to say. I mean, we're going into Rice 2 now. It's just going to be interesting to see how will Indonesia do against Japan on Rice 2, in which both teams have played on chili sauce. Wish Tonight and Rakanaban with 994 and 992k respectively. Whereas for Japan, we did see Axrio having the highest score out of the six players with a 995k. But it's just going to be also being very dependent on Russ BT and Hashimoto if they can be able to step up, considering they did break last time. Just near the end, though, Russ broke at the 2,356 combo mark, and Hashimoto broke at 2,543, just about 116 notes before he was able to get the full combo.
Yeah, that also just missing right when you're about to get the full combo. It doesn't affect the score too much. Maybe, but yeah, based on like scores from their previous matches, it does seem that on paper Indonesia with the better consistency might have a better chance here. But yeah, that remains to be seen. Will Japan be able to claw back on a 4-0 deficit?
This is really interesting. Nayu is going to stay in the lobby, considering the first time Indonesia played, Sega was playing alongside with Wish Tonight and Wakana Bad. But now they're going to use Nayu for this one against Japan. And so far, it's looking to pay off slightly. Rakanaban, though, having a unusual start for what I was expecting from him so far.
In his previous
Oh,
match, he did get 99.79 or 99.78. So actually, he is still on pace to match his
oh
previous
yeah,
score.
definitely.
So
But
for
that break,
though, oh,
oh,
Axel finds the break. Yeah, Russ BT as well. 2 breaks on the side of Japan. And with Indonesia being a little bit more consistent, they are just going to be running away with it for now. 15,000 point difference, and as we hit the 1,000 combo mark for the three of the
oh
players.
no, Japan just lost all of their combos.
Zero
I
full combos right now.
It's really just the pressure, but now you will find a draw, so there is a little bit of life left for Japan. Not all hope is lost, however, but it's I don't know though. It's going to be tough to be able to try to come back. But I mean, with those breaks, I mean, Japan has definitely taken out their nerves for this one. But the question is, can they be able to catch up to Indonesia in this time?
Only a third of the net left. still remains to be seen. Rakanovan and Wesley Knight flexing their consistency and also pretty good accuracy. They're both the highest in the lobby at the moment. While Japan is very consistent, however, not as high as they would have hoped. And Nayu, the only one with the miss from Indonesia's side, it is the lowest accuracy, but it does not matter. He has two really good players to back him up, pick up the slack.
Yeah, it's just it's going to be tough to be able to see. You know, for Japan, they are if they can even manage to reverse sweep into a tiebreaker. Everything has just not been going right for them. Oh, Econovan and
A double miss.
Knight. A double
So
miss.
zero full combos, but I have a feeling it's probably a little bit too late. Question mark. Two people on Indonesia's side still have not reached 400 combo up, but there's no map left.
Yeah, Indonesia finding those two breaks from Econovan and Wish tonight, but they broke just around the time where Japan doesn't even have any sort of time to be able to catch up. Not only that score gap regardless, that was not going to be enough. They need a much bigger break if they want to be able to take down Indonesia. But as it stands, it's going to be 5-0 for the red team, and now Japan's now up to try to maybe still try to get themselves up on the board in order to avoid a complete sweep from Indonesia. Man, I
Yeah,
feel so sad considering I was like streaming earlier today and I was like saying, "Oh, I think this might actually be a really this is a really even matchup that could go into tiebreaker." I did not expect.
you are not the only one. I myself I was thinking, Indonesia and Japan, they seem like pretty evenly matched teams. I think it could go all the way. And then when we let's go on a 5-0, I am sitting here eating my words.
I am like eating. I am here literally eating every word I have praised Japan and how it has went completely wrong. And but to be fair, they look strong. It's just that they just in the most crucial parts of the maps, they just couldn't really capitalize or be able to stay consistent. That Rice vibe pick, I mean, that's going to really haunt them. And same can be said with LN4 as well. Yeah, it's just really bad timing. This could have been a different matchup if Japan were to be able to capitalize on those picks.
Yeah, Indonesia seems like too much of a wild card for Japan to handle, and evidently it came around and bit them back. Indonesia right now, they're just waiting on bated breath. Will they be able to complete the sweep? Japan does have one pick remaining, although it could very well be two or maybe three. Question
Um,
mark.
Japan is has been exceeding their pick time right now. They're gonna go with Rice One. They have waited for 2 minutes and 30 seconds, but yeah, we're gonna go with Rice One.
Rise one those. I don't believe I've seen them play Rise one.
Neither did
No.
Indonesia, so we're going into
Alright.
unmarked territory for both teams here. Indonesia and Japan going to play Rice 1 for the first time. This speed-oriented map with 2 minutes 56 seconds log. With an OD of 8.5, so timing is going to be a bit more on the stricter side here. So it's just going to be interesting to see how will these 6 players perform. XVO, RustBT, and Hashimoto over on the blue team, which tonight Sega and Nayu is going to come in. Interesting that Indonesia did not have Rakanovan coming into play speed for this Rice 1. Maybe he's just not feeling confident, or maybe they want to rest him up in case if Indonesia somehow doesn't take this point from Japan.
Yeah, if Japan starts their miracle comeback and it's gonna happen right here, believe. Everybody, put your hands up for Japan. Give them your power. They need it.
Akira Minnayo!
I swear we're not biased. We're not biased towards Japan.
Yeah.
I swear this has nothing to do with how much I love Japan and hope that they get 4 points. Because it comes wink 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 wink.
Yeah, well, nonetheless, oh, we got a client issue here.
Oh, and Axrio seems to be just gone, thrown into the Shadow Realm.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Axrio is gone. Okay. Now this is interesting.
Yeah. Could this be tactical stalling? Nah, they won't do that. Probably just a disconnect happening, game crash. With how Osu is, even though Osu is still a very very good game, it is not impervious to crashes.
Exactly. And alrighty, there he is. Axrio is back in.
Alright, take two.
Take
All
two.
Right, chat. Put your hands up for Japan. Give them your power. You want to see tiebreaker, don't you? Everybody wants to see a tiebreaker, so of course that won't happen unless we give Japan all of our power.
We shall see as we are gonna get into race 1 about 3-minute map. Japan still trying to do whatever they can to get their first point from Indonesia. Indonesia looking to end Japan's run once and for all. And it's just going to be interesting to see how this is going to go for both teams. And here we go. So far, good starts coming from both teams right now.
Except, I would say Hashimoto and Rust are found themselves a little bit on the. They got themselves the short end of the stick in accuracy in the intro. But yes, this is a longer song, almost 3 minutes, so they should have enough time to bring things back up. But over on Indonesia, everybody's really consistently holding that 99.7 area. Axrio actually, who I expected to like match at least like 1 or 2 people on the Indonesian side, is actually the lowest if you're going to compare with anyone from Indonesia. So yeah, a quarter of the way through, and Japan finds themselves 4,000 points deficit. To see if they can muster up something, probably bring it back.
If they are able to improve on their accuracies, maybe there is a good chance they are able to get things back up over on the blue side. But until then, it is still Indonesia's game that we are witnessing from this match so far. And unless if Indonesia finds a really rare mistake.
Yeah, but so far this map doesn't really seem like one to throw a lot of curveballs. We might see the occasional burst or two, but for the most part, we do see just a lot of jacks and just a couple of bursts thrown in there. It is not Rise 1 without a reason. It is probably on the easier side, just based on like density and maybe how straightforward it is alone. So honestly, I'm not really expecting to see misses coming out from Indonesia. With the score deficit right now at about 10,000, I really don't want to say it, but I think it's probably safe to say that Japan might be unfortunately heading home in the second stage of the lower bracket quarterfinal.
Oh man, and oh no, Makeda! As we will see, Rusk will find a drop. Yeah, that writing is on the wall, but that break just sealed that just sealed the deal. Oh man, ya bye. That's going to be it. As your winners, going to be Indonesia by a score of 6-0. Congratulations to Wish Knight, Naya, Isega, Rakadavan, Rayhead. And they do have like one more player. I'm searching out real quick. Dinar MW, who we have not seen in the lobby, but let's just also give him his acknowledgement for his contributions to the team as well. GG, well played for both teams. Man, that was. I mean, I was expecting it to be a much more closer match. Now I am just straight up eating my own words right now.
Well, it is what it is. GG WPs. Congratulations to Indonesia. You move on into the semi-final of the lowest bracket. Who you are up against, I do not remember.
Canada.
That will be Canada, who just
lost against Malaysia.
Yeah, lost against Malaysia. Wish I could have seen the match though. But yeah, Canada, Indonesia. I think it's gonna be a close one.
I think it will be a close one.
It seems that every match that like the team flag is just red and white, I always think they're gonna be close.
Well, yeah. So that is going to be it for this matchup. So we have 4 more matches left remaining to you guys, and boy, do we got some spicy matches. We have our last winners quarterfinals match between number 1 seed Vietnam and the number 8 seed defending champions China coming up in 2 hours from now. Meanwhile, you also have Thailand taking on Hong Kong at 30 minutes after that winners quarterfinals match starting. So that's going to happen 30 minutes afterwards, and then after that the last matches will happen at the same time. We have Brazil taking on Deutschland or Germany, and Italy taking on Argentina. That's going to be at 17 UTC. And speaking of that one, I have to wake up at 9 a.m. and I have to actually go to bed now, or else there's a good chance I will actually miss out on this match. Whoopsie. This is what happens when you sign up for a 2 in the morning match and a 9 in the morning match. Just pray that I will. Honestly, I may have to ask to drop out. I don't think I would have enough energy to get through a 9 a.m. match, honestly.
Well, I mean that's probably up to you, but yeah, not much I can do anything. I don't think I can do anything about it.
Yeah. But other than that, that's going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you guys in 2 hours from now. See ya.